So my friend Sylvia in Las Cruces, ¿qué pasó, chica? So I guess we're not going to Colorado. So if you want to come up, let me know. So I was hoping my sister and brothers would get on. I haven't seen them pop in yet.
They'll pop up here.
Yeah, they'll pop up here in a minute. So anyway, it's been a year that we've been on here. Today actually was the year date that we sold the house a year ago. And then all the stuff we've been doing out here with the land and the solar and the RV and everything that we've done in the last year. So today I got off of work at 4:30 and we went over to Stewart Title and we closed on the property today. So we have now been prayed for so much that obviously we didn't get to go to Colorado like we thought God's plan was for us to go to Colorado. We thought it was going to be, we were going to be in a new location, but we're in a new location, just not where we thought it was going to be.
Right.
So we have now bought this 3 acres. So behind us, obviously you can see Sandia, the mountain, but probably, let's see what you can see there. That tree right there is probably about halfway to the 3 acres. The one that's further behind Christina, I don't know if you can see on that camera.
Let's see. There we go.
Well, the one that I'm recording for YouTube. Move your chair over just for a second. Your chair.
Oh, he's bossing me around. Here
Yeah,
we go. There you go.
That tree right there is about the 3 acre mark. So it's quite interesting what's happening and what we're doing. We kind of jumped the gun. When was it? July. When did we sign the paperwork for the Colorado yurt? July
2 weeks
20th?
ago.
What's it?
The end of July, we signed the paperwork for a Colorado yurt. We're having it made in Montrose.
So it's already in production. It'll probably be done in the next week or two. She said the 18th of August it would be done.
Right.
But they won't come pitch it until
after
September.
Labor Day.
Yeah, that Tuesday after Labor Day they'll come and they'll set it up. What's up, Casey? She's on there. So the property, Sylvia, is west of Rio Rancho in Sandoval County. From Unser and Northern, where that Walgreens is at, we're about 7 miles west. So we're outside of the city limits. So there's no running water, there's no electricity, there's no cable, there's no internet. We have internet, obviously, because we're talking to you from the property, but we have a little mobile device that we use for high-speed internet. So we have the conveniences of home, but it's not the same. It's different.
It is different. You can't run your lights all the time. You can't take a 30-minute shower.
Well, we can now.
We can if we wanted to.
We couldn't before, but now we really can because we have that 225-gallon IBC tote back there that we can fill up the RV probably 4 or 5 times depending on how much water we use. So the contractor that's going to do the deck is probably going to start.
Well, first of all, we have the survey coming. We signed the paperwork to have the survey, so all 3 acres will be surveyed, easements, and plot lines. So there's 3 lots that equal 3 acres. So we'll have each lot then separated. We'll know where each lot is, where the easement is to the roads, and we'll have all of that done. I'm not sure when we'll get that, probably a week or 2. We know where the property's at. We can go ahead and start to build. When we get the deck permitted or not. I went to it. Yes.
We have it in process, but they didn't say no. They just said, well, this is an interesting concept. Let's look it over, because they have to look at the wind and the snow loads to see exactly what kind of structure it is, because I don't think they've ever, well, that's the weirdest part for me, is that there's some here in New Mexico. There was one for sale in Santa Fe recently for $80,000, and that was on 5 acres. That one was on 5 acres. I just saw it today. I was looking to see kind of like if there's anything like it, because up in Abiquiu where we went, they have 2. They have 2 of the cloth ones and 1 of the wooden ones. That's a full structure. That's why I find it confusing why they're so weird about it. But
It's
they
just
got the
never been done here in Sandoval County. When
right.
you call zoning and planning in the county, and
I
you say, I'd
just
like to build a yurt, they just say, oh, it's not allowed. And you say, well, why is that? Well, they'll give you one reason after another. And you say, well, I can do that. I can do that. I can comply with that. A yurt can be that. And then they go, oh. So I think, and from what I got from my meeting, was that nobody's ever applied for your in person. Hey, Ray.
yes.
So nobody's applied for your in person. So we took 250 pages of documentation of
Mechanical drawings, all
yeah,
the wind
all
and
the
snow loads, all
engineering,
the engineering that they need
all
to
the
do.
insulation that would be used, all the specs behind Duralast, all of the everything that's going to be in the yurt. We took to them, and he was surprised, and he goes, "That's for me," and I said, "Yes." Before you say anything, you need to research it. And he says, "I don't know what variances you would need to apply for, so I really do need to research it." So to me, that says you're paving the way. He said, and he did say that we were paving the way for other people in building a yurt. So it's not bad that there are restrictions and rules because, like I was talking to somebody the other day about 3 sticks and a tarp isn't a yurt, it's a teepee, and it's temporary. And a yurt can be a home on a foundation and can be a structure that stays there for a long time. So we just have to walk them through the process of letting us build a yurt. What?
I'm sorry, he's just going at it. We gotta take him to go see Dr. Pike to see what that is. He just can't leave it
Oh,
alone.
our dogs.
Our dog, poor thing.
The allergies have gotten him out here. So anyway,
So like I said, it's in progress. So it hasn't been a no. So we just wanted to share the news that really, like literally, it's 1 year to the day. We moved out here that night of the 7th of August last year. I think if you look at the videos for
yep.
YouTube on the Boondocking for Jesus channel, it was a year ago today.
And we signed the paperwork to sell our house on the 8th of August last year.
Yeah.
Because it was 2 days before my birthday. So happy birthday to me. We get to buy property and we got to sell our house, and happy birthday to you, September. But now we can officially say we're not squatting on somebody else's land and paying rent. We paid rent forever.
We weren't squatting anyway. We were paying him rent anyway. But it's just weird. It's just really just like, I mean, you just kind of see God's hand in the whole thing. Like he just brought us out here. He set us down and he just left us here like, okay, you guys think you're going to move to Colorado? Ha ha ha. Really funny. We're just watching to see what I got in plan for you. So the kids have been out here several times and they're like, oh, hey, I really like it. And we really like it. And anybody that's come and seen the mountain ranges and how clear they are. This one facing north is just, every night is just spectacular. And we just look at the sunset going down. Right now it's going down. It's beautiful. And then of course you have the Sandia behind us, and it's just, we just look at each other and just go, wow. And today was just a real wow moment that we're moving forward on it. And there's pallet houses out here. There's junkyards up and down the road where there's like mobile homes that have just been put out there that somebody thought they were going to do something and they never did anything. It's just there. So I think we'll be okay as far as the planning and zoning portion of it. So I'm not too worried about it. We're just asking that anybody that's watching, if you haven't shared it with anybody, we just still keep getting this feeling there's other people that are trying to do similar stuff. Maybe not exactly what we're doing, but something similar, where they're trying to follow what God is asking them to do, and just trying to pay attention to that. I know that I can say with complete confidence that letting go of what our idea is and trying to latch onto what his idea is, even though there's times you don't know what that is.
Right.
It's a ride. And Todd always says to us,
that's our
dream
pastor.
big. He goes, dream big and God will outdream you every single time. And it has proven to be so true in this experience with us, since we've kind of stepped away from ourselves and just said, hey, I'm messed up, hey, you're messed up, but together we could try to fix that messed up into whatever it is that God's got for us in the future. And it's a it's a cool place. It really is a cool place. That's all I can tell you. It's a great place.
It just makes me laugh when he says stuff that we've been out here for a year in a 200-foot living space. And my mom's husband, Jack, he's like, well, you haven't killed each other yet. And that's the truth. And it's because God has led the way. And we still work in the city. And so we come home and we eat, we hang out, and we do technical stuff. And right now we're getting ready for the space for the yurt. We won't clear any of the
What's up,
land out
Prima?
here. That's another thing I want to talk about. We're going to keep everything as natural as possible. Because, you know, when you clear land in New Mexico, you welcome tumbleweeds and goat heads.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep the cactuses and the natural native plants where they're at, and put a one-way road through the property, perhaps. We're trying to figure that out as well. So you can pray for the design of the land, how it's going to be used. What else? Oh, we're doing my project, the pallets. So we were just talking about that tonight. We got to go get a planer. We went to get a planer and they didn't have any tonight. So that's to even out the boards so we can put the flooring in the yurt. The yurt will have glass windows, so that's kind of fun. A yurt with glass windows, French doors. And we changed the size of the deck from 36 by 36 feet to 36 by 48 feet.
So we have a little bit of room in the front to live on.
Right, and the front will be towards the Sandia Mountain, so the yurt will sit in the back, and then the deck will go towards the mountains, and so we can put chairs and patio stuff out there, and the French doors will go north. So we have we have 2 4x4, which would be windows.
Here's where the stones start to get sharpened and less sharpened, because I think that we should have it where we can see both directions, because it's pretty amazing. But I don't know. Once we get it started, it's going to come together organically. I think pretty well.
Yeah, and the floor plan. Pray for us on the floor plan, because we do not agree on the loft area or the floor plan. It may be a round room for a while with a bed and a kitchen table in it. And a grill outside. Just saying, just until we can wrap our minds around how we want our living space. And that flooring will be, the base floor will be 700, about a little over 700 square feet.
Yeah, 700 and some change.
So pray for us to be on the timeline that we can have it up in September. That would be great. It looks like for us to get our variance, it may not be until the end of September, so it might go up in October, which is disappointing, but it's still before winter, so that would be okay as well. Compost toileting, don't ask, because that's what it's going to be. What else? What else have we decided on? Oh, we got a wood-burning stove last week.
We went and got that.
We found one. A gal in Placitas was selling her wood-burning stove, so we got that for a good price. Once
again, God working, because we had met her prior at her business in Rio Rancho, and the whole time that we're talking to her about picking it up and how to move it out of where she has it in her house, and I kept looking at her like, I know this lady, but she tells me all the time that I know people that I don't know. And then I said, what is your name? And she said, Ryder. And I was like, oh, Ryder. I said, that doesn't make any sense. I was like, oh, I feel like I know you like that. And then she goes, well, what do you guys do? And it's like, well, we own a hair salon. And she's like, oh yeah, you're the guys in Rio Rancho. She goes, I had the clothing store. And we were like, oh yeah, we do remember. We had sat there and talked to her one day. She had like
about 30 minutes or so.
Like a vintage clothing place. And she was really cool. So we ran into her. She found this wood-burning stove on Craigslist, and she was trying to sell it, so we went and bought it. It's sitting here waiting for us to put it in the yurt.
It's all tarped over and ready to go into there. We have to figure that out when we put it into the yurt. So that'll be our heating, will be that. And then once again, our energy will be solar and wind, which we'll need more battery power for sure.
Right.
Probably a few more cells for solar, but we'll see what happens.
I think we're going to need more than a few, but yeah, we'll need more batteries, because we only have 4 right now. We have 400 amps.
But the beauty of it is our yurt is half paid for, and the land is paid for.
Everything is paid for.
Everything's paid for.
We don't have any debt. We have one car that's on Hawk, but that's it. The
Yeah.
rest of every other car we own is
So,
outright owned.
so our
it's good.
income can go for these upgrades, and then eventually that will go for retirement or whatever else we want it to go for. So as we get older, we just really decided we wanted to spend our money a little bit more wise, and so this is our journey.
So anyway, that was our news for the day. So like I said, it's been a year of us boondocking. So we've seen the wind, we've seen the cold, we've seen the rain, we've seen the neighbors, we've seen the meth lab go up or whatever was going. We had a situation where I think they poisoned our dog, but that was a tough week. But it's been a good year. It's been
Definitely.
full of its challenges.
Don't ever forget that when you learn something new, you get to expand not only your mind but your heart, and you get to step into somebody else's shoes once in a while. I never thought that I'd ever learn anything about electricity or want to have a skill saw or a circular saw as my best friend, or use a planer, or even think about how do you tongue and groove wood to make a floor out of it. But don't be afraid to try something new, no matter how old you are. That's my 2 cents.
That's your birthday advice for your birthday coming up Monday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, we just wanted you to hear all that news, and like I said, if there's anybody that you know that wants to do this, have them watch the Boondocking for Jesus channel, and have them subscribe. We're only 6 people away from being able to do it live on YouTube.
We get our own channel.
Yeah, well, we have the channel, but we can do live
Our own
broadcasts at that
addresses.
point once we get to 100. But we got 90, we got 96, 94. I think we have 94 followers right now. So just share it with whoever, and if you have an RV, if you want to come camp, that's what we're going to do. Is we're going to do Hip Camp. It's HIPCAMP. It's like Airbnb for campers. So we're going to turn this into a place where people can come and park their RVs or just pitch a tent. Come hang out for a week and be away from everything. You're close enough to the city that you can go get whatever you need, and you're far enough away that you can learn a lot about the desert, because it sure is beautiful. I know that.
It sure is.
So the land of entrapment has us entrapped, so we're here.
We never not liked it.
No,
That, just to be honest with you.
We didn't want to leave, but we wanted to go help her mom.
I
'cause
really wanted to be back in Colorado, but
she
it just
really
is what it
needed
is, and
yeah, she needed
we're
us to
happy
be
with the
there.
choice that we made.
Yeah, so anyway, we sure appreciate all the prayers. Like I said, I know the new prayers that you guys are going to pray are going to direct some new stuff to come. So I'm excited to share what that is whenever it happens. But we sure appreciate you watching.
Thanks
You
for
guys-
following along.
Yeah, have a great one. We love you, and be blessed.
Night.